Hey guys, thank you for joining us today on Instinctive Addiction Archery one more time. Got something good for you here today. As always, I try to address questions as they come in. Had actually several people contacted me this week. Had actually a phone call, a 40-year veteran shooter out of Michigan, bow hunter, 40 plus years shooting traditional, that is. And he called me a couple of days ago, and he said, Jeff, I need you to help me figure something out that I'm just now starting to deal with. Like a lot of people, whether it's shoulder injuries, whether it's age, whether it's whatever the case is, lots of people are dropping to lighter poundage bows. We, as you guys know, we are bowyers. We build the Addiction custom bows, and I'm going to say that over 50% of the orders that we've received in the last couple of months have been bows under 45 pounds. I never would have thought it, guys. With me, it's always been the 45 to 55 pound range. And they're great because they are super fast and efficient and all that. But the question was setting up a 40-pound bow. The question came into me exactly as this. He said, Jeff, I'm wanting to hunt with about a 40-pound bow, okay? I'm having to go down because of whatever the reasons were, and I need to know what arrow setup that I need to go with to make this work. What can I kill deer with this kind of weight? Okay, so it kind of fell in line just perfectly because some of the bows that we've sold, as a matter of fact, the last 3 bows that have left the shop have been between 38 and 43 pound bows. It just happened that way. Okay, so we spent a great deal of time with these lighter pound bows that we built matching arrows, because that's typically what we do. Once we build a bow, we try to package it with the correct arrows. We try to make sure that they're tuned to the bow, whether they be hunting or 3D arrows, whatever the case may be, for a perfect setup. Okay. So what we found, and I use this to answer the fellow's question, generally your draw length is going to determine everything. It is going to be the determining factor when you're dealing with that. Now, if you are, and I'm going to give you these in general in case you guys are watching and you are shooting under 45 pounds in a recurve or a longbow, what you need to do to set your bow up to be super efficient, okay? Yet be able to shoot 20 plus yards with no problem. And I know that a lot of guys set boundaries at 15 yards thereabouts as their max. So if that's the case, it really doesn't matter what you put in. You can shoot as heavy as your bow will possibly shoot, because most of the energy is going into the arrow anyway. You have to understand, a traditional bow like ours in the 42, 43 pounds, that bow is going to be averaging with a 500 grain arrow somewhere in the 160s, 150s minimum, 160s maximum. That's just what they're going to do at a 27 to 28 inch draw. Okay, which is still plenty fast. Okay, the key is putting the energy to the arrow. Okay, now, and putting it to the deer. So what we did, guys, we set up the first bow as a hunting setup. We set it up with 500s. That's right, we used 500 traditional Axis, okay? Because the Axis is a thick-walled, super tough, hard-hitting arrow, okay? We used a multitude of different arrows that all shot well out of these bows, but we tended a little bit more toward the smaller diameter, the 204 inside diameter arrows for a hunting setup, only because of penetration. Now, I run standards in my longbow here. This is my Passion C2. This particular bow is a 49-pound bow, okay? And out of a 49-pound bow, I'm also shooting 500s, but I'm running 300 grains up front. So it kind of works out about the same. As you guys can see, that's a 200 grain VPA with a 100 grain brass insert on a 500 cut at 28.5 inches. And the arrows are absolutely perfect out of a 49-pound bow. Okay, so going to a 42, 43-pound bow, a 40-pound bow, whatever. Here's your 2 choices. You can go with a 600, which is the correct spine for that weight range, up to 29 inches. Now, once you pass 29 inches, you must go to a 500. But if you're going to shoot a 600 spine shaft, a 600 out of a 40-ish pound bow at 27, 28, up to 29 inches, you cannot exceed about 200 grains on the front. That's going to be your max weight, okay? Or the arrow will become too weak, even at those pounds. But guys, every bow is different too. Every bow is different. There are some bows that just do not store the energy like others do, okay? So to answer the question, Jeff, what arrows do I need to put in my bow? Well, first you have to know what kind of bow you're dealing with, exactly what your draw weight is. But in general, a 600 up to about 200 grains at a relatively short arrow. When I say short, I mean an arrow that's cut maybe no more than 28.5 inches, okay? Now, if you're going to cut that arrow 29.5 inches, let's just say you're in that, or 30 inches, or full length, or whatever, you're going to need to probably go to a 500, which will be the magic arrow. And that will also allow you, especially if you do cut them in those length ranges, to run an easy 250 on the front. Now, guys, there's not an arrow in the world with 250 grains on the front that will not shoot through a deer at any relatively close distance on a fairly well-placed shot. And a sharp broadhead. But guys, the key is a sharp broadhead. I've got a buddy sent me pictures of a kill last week, actually. Killed a deer up north. Complete pass-through. True story, guys. Complete pass-through. I saw the pictures. I saw everything. Complete pass-through with a 2-blade single bevel. 420 grain arrow. 38-pound longbow. 38 pounds, 420 grain arrow, complete pass through both lungs. And here's the kicker. It took out one rib on the entry, took out a rib on the exit. Guys, what more do you need? I mean, that's it. So, you say, well, is 40 pounds okay to hunt with? Absolutely, it's okay to hunt with. You just have to match the arrow to the bow and get enough front of center weight on that arrow to get the job done. All right, so past that, it really doesn't matter. But guys, I wanted to try to answer that question. You know, like I said, we've had not just one phone call, but multiple messages concerning light pound bows. So many people are going to it. And I say, in general, shoot as much as you can. Guys, the name of the game in traditional archery is not speed, even though, you know, everybody likes a fast bow, sure. But the name of the game is to get your bow hitting as hard as you can. Kinetic energy. You want all the kinetic energy that you can possibly get out of your rig, whatever it may be. So try to run at least 250 grains up front in a hunting situation. Now, I have also had guys that have sent me pictures and scenarios of shooting, say, aluminum arrows. Old school aluminum arrows. Well, of course they're going to penetrate because an aluminum arrow is a very heavy arrow in the shaft itself. It's not like these carbon arrows. The shaft itself is heavy. So you can get by with 125 grains on an aluminum arrow and do virtually the same thing. The arrow's going to be much slower. Yes, it will. But it's going to hit hard. It's going to do basically the same thing. But if you're going to shoot fairly light arrows that will spine correctly and shoot correctly out of a lighter poundage bow, run as much front of center as you can. And that's something you can easily play with. What determines how an arrow tunes to a longbow or a recurve makes no difference. Just like my longbow, my personal longbow here. We cut our bows to center, then we radius them. Okay, so we are a cut to center bow. If it is not cut to center, you're going to have to run a little bit lighter spine shaft, okay? That's why I'm able to shoot 500s or 400s out of this with relatively the same point weight without any issues whatsoever. And I do like that because I do like to switch up arrows. There's times that I have different situations of wherever I'm hunting and I'm figuring, okay, I'm not going to get past say a 25-yard shot and I want to shoot a 750 grain arrow or a 700 grain arrow, whatever, and really hit a deer hard. And that's what I personally like a lot. I know it's going to be a little bit slower, but it's going to do the job, okay? Now, if you're going to run these 500, 550 grain arrows or whatnot, generally stay around 250 on the front end. That seems to be the magic number, guys. It gets the job done, I promise you. I'm hoping to get the video released here really soon of the last kill that I got on video with this particular bow. I got a complete pass through, and virtually it was like the deer wasn't even there. I mean, it shot through it so fast. It just took everything out. And I was shooting 175 grain VPA on that arrow, and that was a 550 grain arrow. And they are fast out of a 49 to 50 pound bow. Yes, they are. But they do extremely well. But guys, hopefully this has helped you. So if you're one of those that are thinking about lightening your pounds up, maybe it's for fatigue, just the comfort of shooting them, and yes, Lord, they are a pleasure to shoot. These light pound bows are so fun to shoot, and they are incredibly accurate. You don't have to have more than that. One more question that I do want to kind of answer, or try to answer, that has come in pertaining to this is, what is the very minimum that I can get by hunting with? There again, it depends on the bow. State laws govern poundage. Here in Alabama, we have 35 pounds. 35 is your minimum. I do believe Ohio is 40 pounds. I had a customer from Ohio that had actually bought a bow, and we had to meet a 40-pound minimum at 28 in case he was checked. It has to meet that minimum. Okay, so I'm going to say, guys, try to stick with 40 pounds if possible. Stick with 40 pounds, and it's a good bow, a good quality bow at 40 pounds is going to draw just the same as a 35-pound bow. It's going to be super easy. So, guys, I hope this has helped you. We're about to hunt. We just got here on the property. This cold front's been in place 3 or 4 days. We've got tons of pictures on our cameras. Deer have really been moving good in the last week here. We're still a good 2 to 3 weeks away from our rut. Hopefully we'll catch some deer coming out to feed this evening, and maybe get us a shot on video. We're sure gonna try. I definitely want to put an arrow through one today. I guarantee you that. So guys, thank you for joining us on Instinctive Addiction Archery one more time. As always, we love you so much. Thank you for your support, and we pray that God bless everything that you guys do. Pray that everything that we do would bring honor and glory to Him. We love you so much, and thank you for your support, and I look forward to bringing you some action here soon from the tree stand. Till next time, have a blessed day.